The before of my story is one you've all heard before. It all started in my junior year of high school. I got a sports injury. With that injury came pain medicine. That was the best and worst friend that I could have ever met, opiates. It led me to doing some pretty terrible things, and in 2012, I was arrested and sentenced to 6 years in prison. But that chapter in my life ended there, and it was time to start a new one. After a while, I started hearing about the dog program, ICAN, and it seemed like such a sweet deal at the time. You got to hang out with dogs all day, you got a bottom bunk, their microwaves and washers actually worked. So I thought, why not? So since my record was good at the prison, I was accepted and I moved over for all the selfish reasons. At first it was all puppies and fun, but then I realized this was a real job. I had workbooks to do, material to read, I had to miss rec because I had to go to meetings, I had training sessions. For once in my life, I actually had to be responsible. But I still didn't really get it yet, and then Brooks came into my life. I remember one day the furlough coordinator, Becky, came strolling into the dorm with this little scrawny black lab puppy. And I reached out to pet her, and before my hand even touched her, she was on her back, convulsing and peeing all over the place. The dog, not Becky. I said, "What is this?" And she said, "This is your new dog, Brooks. And she has about every behavior issue that you could possibly imagine. So good luck." She was pretty rotten. But she lit a fire in me that I'd never felt before. I wanted to fix her. I wanted her to succeed. I started to work harder than I'd ever worked before, and that would be the first lesson that she would teach me, work ethic. But she ended up teaching me so much more, though. She taught me how to love. Oh, I loved her fiercely and with all of me. I'd never felt that. She was such a mess, but we were so alike. If I was a dog and she was a person, we would still be the same. So, really, she was teaching me how to love myself. Through her, I said I wasn't gonna get up here and cry. Through her, I learned patience, but more importantly, I learned acceptance. After 5 long years, it was time to go home. But the person who walked out that door was not the same sad, hopeless person that had come in. For the first time in many years, I had hope. I had a second chance. I had a chance of making something of myself, and I was not gonna waste it this time. ICAN really set me up too with my training skills, my teaching skills, but they just kind of got me ready for life. I was released in January 2016. By the end of February, I had a job at PetSmart teaching puppy classes that I actually got through my ICAN contacts. I had a car, an apartment, and of course a dog. People that I met through ICAN would be there to support me and eventually become family. My dad told me he was proud of me for the first time. Just recently, I've landed a dream job at Paws and Play. Not just getting to train dogs, but I'm learning how to do it better, which is something that I really miss from my ICAN days, is the constant learning and the constant education. ICAN gave me a life. ICAN saved me. There's not a doubt in my mind, without this program, I would not have made it. Help them keep changing lives on both ends of the leash, and help them keep bringing hope. Thank you.